In Hot Peppers Part 1, I showed you how I planted 4 different types of peppers and what they looked like up until they were 8-week-old seedlings. In this video, I'll show you how each pepper grew, going from my least successful to my most. To be honest, I kind of failed, but maybe we can both learn from my mistakes. So I planted 3 Hungarian Hot Wax pepper seedlings into the ground, and sadly, this is the one and only flower that would actually produce a pepper for me. The other 2 plants were completely stunted and started to die back at the base of the stem. I wasn't sure what caused this issue, so I decided to uproot one of them to see if there was any visible problems with the roots, and there wasn't any that I could see. So that one little flower put off this one little pepper. I thought I needed more than one flower to get any fruit, but then learned that peppers can pollinate themselves. So even though this plant was not thriving, that little pepper did keep growing, and it was around this time that I harvested it. The pepper was way smaller than it was supposed to be, but hey, I guess some is better than none, right? My husband and I tried it, and this is what we said.
A sweeter,
almost like bell pepper.
Bell peppery taste. It smells like it would be really spicy, but
there is actually spice though if you take another bite.
A little bit, yeah. It's not like
it's climbing though.
It does increase, yeah.
Take another bite.
I got some. I feel it.
Oh
increasing.
my gosh.
Wow, it's delayed.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So we really actually liked the flavor and the delayed heat that it had put off. I thought I was gonna get lucky and get another pepper, but when I went back outside to check on it, it literally fell off at the slightest tug, and I noticed that aphids were on it. So I'm bummed that these plants did not have much success, but I got one pepper and it tasted really good, so it made me excited to try next season. Now on to my Sriracha plant. If you didn't know, Sriracha peppers are basically ripe red jalapenos. So I technically never even got a Sriracha pepper, and this was totally my fault. The plant was near the border of my garden, which was loaded with random flowers that eventually overcrowded and shaded the Sriracha pepper plant. This meant that it wasn't getting all of the sun that it needed, which is necessary for ripening. I will say though, these were the best dang jalapenos I've ever had. The thought of them literally made me start to crave a jalapeno burger. Have to swallow my drool. I only got 3 peppers from this plant, although it did try to put off more. I let this last one stay on for about a month or so to see if it would ripen, and it just never did. It grew and it darkened in color, and it was like the most sturdy jalapeno I'd ever felt. And of course I had to use it in my cooking, so I used it to make one of my husband's favorite dinners, Peruvian chicken with a jalapeno, cilantro, and feta salsa. Even when it was 43 degrees out and rainy, it didn't seem to be doing too bad. Again, I look forward to trying this next year, and I will definitely be planting it in a much sunnier spot. Now, I'd have to say that growing Bishop's Crown was easily the most interesting out of all of them. Not only were their flowers super adorable, but I had 2 healthy plants and they put out a handful of peppers in a shape I had never seen before. Obviously, I knew what they were going to look like, but it was so fun and fascinating to watch them grow. I did eat a full-sized one when it was green. It was good. It had a really mild flavor that just tasted like a fresh bell pepper. They each looked really interesting as their color began to change. Over the course of 3 to 4 weeks after reaching its full size, the peppers completely turned from that bright green to a gorgeous, vibrant red. Even well into November's cold, rainy days with temps in the low 40s, the plant still had peppers on it, although they did come off much more easily. When they were ripe and ready, I was excited to use them in my cooking, but to be honest, there really wasn't much flavor they were going to add. It just tasted like it did as when it was green, like a fresh bell pepper. Not bad, just not very distinct or exciting. Chopping them up was also a unique task as well. I figured out that cutting out the center made it much easier to slice. I did also expect them to have a little heat, but there was absolutely none. So on this night, I was making a shrimp and sun-dried tomato dish, which already had quite a bit of red pops of color, so the peppers did add even more. This dinner was absolutely delicious, but I can't say the peppers really added much, although they were fun to grow. And finally, for my Thai dragon pepper plants. I saved these ones for last because I was most pleased with this little pepper's overall performance in its growth and its flavor. They were strong plants, maybe not thriving, but they steadily put out little beautiful peppers and they tasted great. I think all of my pepper plants were stunted in growth due to not growing them perfectly on my part, but these Thai dragon plants do only grow 12 to 18 inches tall. I got a handful of peppers from these plants and I was so satisfied with the flavor that these guys had. I ate a whole pepper bit by bit, and of course, as I approached the stem and the seeded area, the heat just about maxed out my tolerance. Yet, the flavor was still so desirable to me. They are little, but so spicy. I still have some dried ones that I will use to make pepper flakes from. As you can see, they put off the most striking red peppers, and many people do grow these just for their appearance. This is what they looked like on a cold, rainy day after some nights in the freezing temps. Here's a few of them dried, and I do occasionally use them in my cooking, but they really do pack a lot of heat. I even used my teeth to take off this stem because my hands were full, and I could immediately feel the burning sensation on my lips. The flavor, even of just the skins, is so good. If I had to rank these peppers by their spiciness, I would say Bishop's Crown had 0 heat, while Thai Dragon definitely had the most, which is fitting considering its Scoville heat unit score that I mentioned in part 1. If I ranked by flavor, they'd stay in the exact same order. The top 2 have their own distinct flavors with an intense amount of heat, and the bottom 2 tasted similarly to a green bell pepper. Nothing special. But Hungarian Hot Wax did have that delayed heat, and that was pretty good. If I had to rank them on how easy they were to grow, meaning how easy it was to get that exact result I was looking for, I'd say Hungarian Hot Wax was definitely the most difficult in my experience. I put Sriracha at the 3rd spot because I was never actually able to get that jalapeno pepper to ripen enough and basically become a Sriracha due to not giving them enough sun. But that was definitely my fault. So I'd say that the top 2 tied for this one, but I'd have to go with Bishop's Crown being the easiest. I think this would be a really fun pepper for younger gardeners to grow. I would like to say thank you to my most recent subscribers, and I will give this one a gold star because I like their name. Well, I hope this video was helpful in some way. I initially didn't want to post this due to my lack of success, but then I thought, how lame would it be if everyone only posted perfection, right? So if you guys are looking to buy seeds or seed starting supplies, I have everything you need linked below. If you would like to see part 1, I have that link down below as well. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!